Hey Aaron, thanks so much for coming over. I really need some help with the introduction for the athletic awards.
Yeah, no problem, Mr. Swain. Anything I can do to help with the athletic awards?
Well, one thing we know is that you're good with speeches. I mean, you've done, 52 driveway grads now, and you've got your valedictorian speech. Is that right, 52?
Yeah, it's like 52 or something. To be honest, I've kind of lost track nowadays, and I haven't taken this thing off for the past 2 weeks. But it's whatever. It's almost done, you know?
You haven't taken that thing off for how long? Oh my god, it must smell worse than Cale McCallum's football equipment. Anyway, okay, let's get rolling. We're gonna go to the backyard and we'll do this speech. Alright, so athletic awards intro. You ready for this?
I'm good to go.
Alright, here we go.
To commence this event, we'd like to thank you on behalf of our graduating class of 2020. Although this isn't exact...
Oh, Aaron. No. This is athletic awards, right?
Oh,
Not the driveway grads.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, so you're good?
Got it. Yeah, I think I'm good. All right. Welcome to the Athletic Awards. And to commence this event, I'd like to thank the graduating class of 2020. Although this isn't
Oh my god, I think we broke Aaron.
Just like birds of a feather, I want you no lie. All of the people around us, they say, can they be that close? Just let me state for the record, we're giving love in a family dose. We are family. Hey, I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, and sing. Sing it to me. We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, and sing. Living life is fun, and we've just begun to get our share of this world's delight.
From beautiful Kingston, Ontario, welcome to the 2020 Bayridge Secondary School Athletic Award Show. Now here's your host, Mr. John Swain.
Hello everybody, hello, welcome. Hey, how are you? Good to see you, good to see you, good to see you. Hey, good to see you too, welcome. Hey, good to see everybody. Welcome everybody to the Bayridge Athletic Awards 2020 edition. Obviously a different edition. I'm Mr. John Swain. I will be your MC for this evening. I am a computer programming teacher, so obviously a perfect pick for the Athletic Awards. In all seriousness, we couldn't get together in an auditorium. It's a different year, but we definitely wanted to do something to recognize all of our amazing athletes. And so here we are. We have a great night planned for you. We've tried to take a whole bunch of videos from all of our coaches and our volunteers, and we've made it into a show, and we've spliced in hopefully some comedy, and hopefully everyone's going to have a good time. So grab some popcorn, sit down with your family and enjoy what we have in store for you. I'd like to introduce our principal, Miss Heather Hyatt, who's going to have some introductory remarks, and then we will get on with the show.
Hello everyone. I'm very pleased to be able to address our impressive Blazer athletes and to be a part of celebrating another year of athletics at Bayridge Secondary School. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that our Bayridge community is situated on traditional Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee territory. We are grateful to be able to live, learn, and play on these lands. The COVID pandemic resulted in our spring sports not running, and while this is disappointing to everyone, it does not take away the feeling of pride I have as your principal, and your coaches have, for the excellent way in which our athletes have represented Bayridge Secondary School on the field, on the track, on the courts, on the pitch, and the many courses. Athletics are an integral part of high school and of what we do here at Bayridge Secondary School. And Blazers, you do it so well. I'd like to offer my thanks and sincere appreciation to our volunteer coaches, many of whom are teachers at Bayridge, but some of whom are community members. Your time and commitment to our athletic program, to the development of our athletes, to ensuring a safe and fun season for all involved is appreciated and valued. And to our graduates, who will be leaving us at the end of this year, I want you to know that your contributions over the past few years are appreciated and will be remembered in our minds, in our hearts, on the walls of the school, and in our yearbook. We wish you well in your future endeavors and know that we will always welcome you back to visit and to come and cheer on our teams. A high school athletic program does not run itself. The Athletic Council is supervised by Miss Nemi and Miss Dearborn, and I appreciate the time they both give to this group of students who run athletic and wellness events for our student body. As well, I offer my sincere thanks and appreciation to Mr. Allen, who not only coaches several teams and teaches, but is our athletic director, coordinating each season and attending district meetings to ensure Bayridge is well represented. Congratulations once again to all of our athletes. You rock. Enjoy this virtual celebration, and now over to Mr. Swain.
Thank you, Miss Hyatt. So, it's a different night, it's weird times, strange circumstances. We've never done this before, but, it's going to be fun, and change can be good. Take me. I tried my hand at junior boys volleyball this year. I was coaching with Mr. Gambacourt, who saved me, luckily. But, I thought it would be an easy gig. It's volleyball. What could happen? But, I got in there and there's a ball flying around at all times in all directions. And there's a scorecard with all these numbers that you got to fill in and change them once in a while. And, sometimes you switch ends and go to the other side and you got to take your stuff with you. And sometimes you don't if it's the last set. And, it was really confusing and it took a long time. And when it was over, I needed a nap. So, now I know what it's like to be in Miss Swain's math class. I see Kevin Durant in the audience. Thank you, Kevin, for coming here. Kevin, you had a virtual game of horse with Ava Kasuchi. How did that work out for you? Okay. Yeah, well, hey, can't win them all, right? All right, let's move on quickly from that one, and let's get into the awards portion of the evening. So what we'd ask you to do is, as the coaches give their speeches, we'd ask you to hold your applause, and that way all of our... right, I'm being reminded this is a virtual ceremony, then you can applaud whenever you like. However, I would still recommend you hold your applause, because it's just weird, you're in your living room, wherever you're applauding at a screen, like that's crazy. That's not how you want to live your life, just applauding at devices, that's strange. So, sorry. Okay, I'm being told that I'm rambling and I shouldn't be telling people how to live their lives, so do as you will. And now we're going to pass it over to Miss Sparrow, who's going to start us off with cross country.
Hello, Bay Ridge. I am here today to present the 2019-2020 MVP for cross country. And before I announce who that is, I would like to talk a little bit about them. This person's been running for Bayridge since grade 9. They are committed, energetic, and such an all-round positive, nice person. From this season, they had a lot of personal bests and actually came one place short of qualifying for OFSA. And I'm really proud and excited to announce, congratulations, Nick Koss.
Thank you so much, Miss Barrow, for that great cross-country season recap, and congratulations to Nick Koss for such an outstanding season. I now turn it over to Mr. Pixley and Mr. Couson to tell us all about their ultimate Frisbee season.
Thank you. Ultimate Frisbee has been played for many years at the university level, many years at the professional level now, and it's finally making its way into CASA Sports and into Kingston. Kingston as a city has many leagues and teams. There are well over 50 teams that play all summer in multiple tiers throughout the city. In its current form, CASA Ultimate is a co-ed varsity sport, so you can imagine there is quite a variety of sizes and ages on the field at any given time, and our team was a perfect example of this with players from every grade represented on our team. The Bayridge Ultimate team practiced at lunch so we could share athletes from other teams, and this meant that we had to budget, they had to budget their already limited time very wisely. The team competed in a ranking round or ranking tournament, losing in the semifinals to the eventual champions in overtime. This set us up pretty well for the championship tournament, where despite some pretty challenging conditions, it was very windy and very rainy. The team again lost to the eventual champs again in overtime, and the team that they lost to actually went on to medal at OFSA. So the level of play in Kingston is quite high, and Bayridge is right there. They are in the mix. So we chose two MVPs for our team. Neither of these players left the field very often or at all in some cases. They were the most reliable players on our team in terms of performance and in terms of demeanor. They are rock stars in every sense of the word, and they both epitomize everything that we value at Bayridge. Ultimate is based on sportsmanship and positive attitudes, and these players have it in bunches. The co-MVPs for the Bayridge Ultimate team for the season are Sydney Wilkinson and Cal Reisling. Congratulations, and I'll send it over to Mr. Swain.
Thank you, Mr. Pixley. It was a great year for the Bayridge golf team. We had the most members we've ever had, with 8 people going to CASA championships, and everybody behaved extremely well on the golf course, as etiquette is key. Well, most of the time. Members of the golf team included Owen Swain, Alex Sims, Andrew Chin, Tom Ropars, Noel Malond, Matt Murphy, Brooklyn Underhill, and Sophia Mufti. In golf, you are only allowed to have a 4-person team compete at CASA. And this year, the 4-person team consisted of Alex Sims, Owen Swain, Noel Malond, and Matt Murphy. Andrew Chin and Tom Ropars competed in open play. Alex Sims shot an 81 at Loyalist, which put him unfortunately 2 strokes back from not qualifying for EASA. Next year, though, we expect that Alec is going to bring us big things on the golf course. On the female side, Brooklyn Underhill missed qualifying for EASA by just 1 stroke. However, being only in grade 10, we have 2 more years, and I know that Brooklyn has been taking lessons through the winter, and we expect that there are going to be big things coming from this golfer in years to come. However, the MVP of the golf team this year is Sophia Mufti. Sophia is not a long hitter. She doesn't do anything that's going to wow you on the course, but she is very good at keeping the ball in play and making good decisions. Through that, she scores low. And so at CASA, she was able to shoot a 94 at Loyalist, which qualified her easily for EASA. At EASA in Perth, she shot in horrible conditions. It was raining and windy the entire time. And she shot a score good enough to qualify her to go to OFSA, where she went to St. Thomas at Pine Knot Golf Course. When there, she was competing against golfers who had Canadian national emblems on their bag and who competed all across the country. The golf was out of this world, but Sophia was able to keep up, and she represented Bayridge extremely well. Congratulations to Sophia Mufti, the well-deserving MVP of the golf team this year. And now we move to Mr. Allen to talk about the junior football team.
And thank you, Mr. Swain. Cohen McCallum is our junior football lineman of the year. Cohen played on both lines, offensive and defensive, rarely coming off the field during games. Cohen played as our center, integral on the offensive line, making key blocks and creating running lanes for our runners. Cohen was a leader on our junior team, very even-keeled and led by example. Congratulations, Cohen. Next up is Mr. McCourt to announce our junior football offensive MVP.
Hi, it's my job to present the Junior Football Offensive MVP Award, and this award goes to Kaylin Goche. Kaylin, despite being grade 9, was a quiet leader who led the team by example. He was a hard worker. He took coaching and direction and was able to immediately put it into practice, sought to improve every day, every practice, and every game. He was a player of the game numerous times throughout the season, and as a running back, rushed the ball with determination and force. And so we look forward to what his grade 10 year will bring on the football field, but congratulations to Kaylin Goche. And next we have Mr. McClagan, who's going to present the junior football defensive MVP. Thank you.
Thanks, Ms. McCourt. Vince Lombardi, a great football coach, once said, "There's only one way to succeed in anything, and that is to give it everything." This year's Junior Defensive Player of the Year always did exactly that, and he is Noah McFadden. Noah epitomizes that success comes through hard work. Noah's effort and focus in games was no different than his approach to practice, and his consistent hard work, coachability, and determination led to great improvements in his personal skill. Noah's effort and positivity was a powerful leadership tool and set a shining example for his teammates. Noah made a difference in defense, making several tackles a game and always relentlessly pursuing opponents to the whistle. I recall a number of times seeing Noah greeted by family after a game. He was clearly exhausted and had poured his heart out on the field once again. I remember thinking how proud his family must be of this kind young man and all he represents. Noah, your coaches are proud of you too, and it's been a pleasure to coach you. Congratulations, Noah. And now I turn it over to another incredible hard worker and committed Blazer, and that's senior football's head coach, Coach McPhail.
Okay, thank you, Steve McLagan, for the introduction. Our first annual Football Flag Awards this year. I think we'll hopefully be back next year and live and in color. But we'll just get this through quick. First off, we're going to have our offensive MVP. This is a fellow that works hard year round, is dedicated to the team, and was one of our captains last year, and was a leader on offense for us. Matt Frazier, you're our offensive MVP. Congratulations. Now for our defensive MVP, we had a few guys we were thinking, and this fellow really rose up, and again, a fellow that was dedicated to the team, a leader on the team, and I'm going to miss having him around in the fall and wish him nothing but the best. But Cal Resling, you are defensive MVP of the year. Now for our linemen, the big boys, our award this year goes out to a kid that this guy gives 100% year round, trains in the off season with us, never misses a meeting, never misses any off season training. Great, quiet, hard worker. Ethan Watson, Easy E, your offensive lineman that led the offensive line this year, and definitely were well deserving of our Lineman of the Year award. So congratulations. Look forward to seeing you in the fall, hopefully. Now for our last award, the Coaches Award, which to us coaches is the team MVP. This young man eats and breathes football, works his butt off to where he's gotten, and we're all very proud of him. We're going to miss having him around this fall, but wish him nothing but the best. Connor Hamlin, you are our Coach's Award. You worked hard. We're going to miss you. Wish you nothing but the best at your future at Concordia. And, again, congratulations. I'll hand off now to Miss Swain and the girls' field hockey team. Take it away, Miss Swain.
Thank you, Coach McPhail, and hello, Blazers. We had another amazing field hockey season this year with some very special athletes. After some close games during regular season, we finished 6th in Castle Lake play, setting us up to play 3rd place KCVI in quarterfinals. Embracing our underdog status, our Blazers gave it all they had and defeated KC to earn a trip to the semifinals, where we eventually lost a hard-fought battle. Our seniors have provided phenomenal leadership over the years. We would like to recognize Abby Duane, Brooke Hagerman, Katie Jackson, Reese Jameson, Brianna MacArthur, Sarah Monchez, Katie Richardson, and Megan Riedrich, and finally Sydney Wilkinson for everything they have done to continue building our field hockey program. We will miss you all dearly next year. With the incredible depth of talent on our team this year, Coach Schaefer and I turned to our players for input into who we would like to recognize at this awards banquet tonight. When examining the feedback, it was clear that our first MVP had the respect of her teammates. She was fearless and at times even intimidating in net. She was known to have friendly conversations with the opposite in her circle and was the most passionate cheerleader on our team. Committed to improving her own game, she practiced outside of our high school season with the Kingston Royals and became the strongest player she could be. As her confidence grew, she found her voice on the field. We will miss her dearly next year, but are thankful for the leadership that Brooke Hagerman has shown in preparing others to take her place in our Bayridge net. Congratulations to Brooke, a very deserving field hockey MVP. And now I'm going to pass the stick to Coach Schaefer, who will present our second MVP award.
Thank you, Ms. Swain. Our second MVP has been a cornerstone of the Bayridge field hockey program since she joined in grade 9. This athlete has been a fiery offensive force during all 4 years of her Bayridge field hockey career. She'll be long remembered for her brilliant performance during the gold medal games against Holy Cross in the 2017 CASA finals when she dominated as a junior player. On top of having outstanding athletic prowess, she's a young woman who embodies character, determination, and sportsmanship. She's committed to doing her best both on the field and in the classroom. Katie Jackson is a true role model, exemplifying what it means to be a student athlete at Bayridge, and is an outstanding choice for this year's field hockey MVP. Congratulations, Katie. And to celebrate the next team, here you go, Coach.
Thank you, Ms. Schaefer. Despite having a coach who was brand new to the sport, that would be me, the junior boys volleyball team had a fantastic season. The boys entered into 4 tournaments this year, and they pulled off some very impressive wins, including wins over Regi, Sydenham, Grec, and Marie Riviere. They also took sets from 2 of the top teams in the league, Holy Cross and Regi, during league play. After finishing up at 3-6 in a 3-way tie for 5th, the boys took on powerhouse KCVI in the quarterfinals. And despite losing, the KCVI head coach, after they had taken home the championship, told me that he thought Bayridge gave them the toughest go in the playoffs, and in addition, he thought our team was the most improved as the season had gone on. That bodes pretty well for us, since 8 of our 12 players will be returning next year. The most improved player for us this year is a player who has always had the physical tools to be a great athlete, but this year he really developed in terms of self-confidence and drive. James Compo started the year as a player who was solid all around, but at times just seemed nervous to go out and just let his body take over and let himself just play. However, with more touches and more practice, you could really see what James could do. In practice, with the encouragement of his teammates, James started to crush the ball, and we realized that he could jump out of the gym. In games, James started to block and hit, and he became a very dependable net player. At times, we would put him in the middle to block other teams' best hitters. James is also a wonderfully polite young man who always says thank you and does whatever his coaches ask of him to the best of his ability. And although this year's improvement was massive, he's got tons left in the tank, and we can't wait to see how high his ceiling truly is. Congratulations, James, on a fantastic season. And now, Mr. Gambecourt will announce this year's MVP.
Thanks, Coach Swain. Tonight, it's my honor to award this year's recipient of the MVP award for junior volleyball. Now, the player that gets this award this year was looked up to by many people on the team, myself included, mostly because he's the tallest on the team, but also because of his character. He kept everybody calm, cool, and collected with just the right amount of comedy and passion for the game. When tough times came on the team, he always seemed to have the right thing to say, the right attitude. And for us at Bay Ridge, having the right attitude is the most important thing. Some also say, this athlete, straight fire. He might even say it himself. This year's MVP award goes to Ozzie Allen.
All right, thank you for that, Mr. Gambecourt. And now we'll move on to Mr. Dwayne with senior boys volleyball.
Now it's my pleasure to introduce this year's Senior Boys Volleyball MVP. This young man has been part of the volleyball program at Bayridge since he was in grade 9. I've had the pleasure of seeing him grow both as a person and as a player. He is always bringing a positive, fun, laid-back attitude, while at the same time being a great leader for our team. He does have plans to move on and play volleyball at the next level. I believe going to St. Clair College in Windsor, Ontario, where I'm sure he'll find a great deal of success. This year's Senior Boys MVP for the Bayridge Blazers Senior Boys Volleyball team is Owen Kemp. Well done, Owen. Congratulations. I'm sure your future will be bright, both in volleyball and in all the other areas of your life. I couldn't be happier for you, and it's been a real treat to be your coach for the last few years. I wish you all the best. Now, on to Mr. Stewart with Senior Girls Basketball.
Well, thank you for that introduction, Mr. Dwayne. It's my pleasure to talk about the girls' basketball season. The girls posted 9 wins in the 2019-20 campaign, including some very impressive marquee victories over Regiopolis Notre Dame and against both of the EASA A finalists, Holy Trinity from Cornwall and St. Mary from Rockville. Our season would not have been the same without the contributions of a pair of incredible first-year athletes in Ava Kasuchi and Alexa Kerr. Both of these grade 9 girls stepped completely outside of their comfort zone, having no experience of high school basketball, and both made significant contributions over the course of the 19 games of the season. Both Alexa and Ava are going to be amazing parts of the program in the years to come, and I can't wait to see them continue to develop as they move into grade 10, 11, and 12. Unfortunately, when we talk about grade 12, we have to say goodbye to some graduating athletes. We have 6 graduates this year, and all of them have been important parts of my coaching experience and of the Blazer program over the course of the last 4 years. So unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to Grace McKenna, to Jada Packer, to Lexi Pereira, to Kaylin Reynolds, to Maddie Valier, and to Raya Wood. I wish you all of the greatest success as you take the next step in your educational journeys, and know that you will always have a home at Bayridge Secondary School in the basketball program. Our MVP this season was our leading scorer. During the October part of our 2019 campaign, she averaged 11.5 points per game across 9 of our most important games, including all 3 of the marquee victories I spoke about earlier. Her most impressive contest of the season was a 17-point effort against St. Mary from Brockville, where not only was she instrumental in our success at the offensive end of the floor, but she held future Ottawa GG Elise Plachka to only 8 points, and that is an accomplishment, holding somebody who is 6'3" tall to only 6 points or 8 points over the course of the 32 minutes of the game. She is somebody who I have really enjoyed watching grow and develop as part of our program over the last 4 years. I will miss her tremendously as we move forward into the 2020-2021 season. It is a great pleasure to present the girls basketball MVP to Kaylin Reynolds. And now I would like to turn things back to the MC, Mr. John Swain.
So that wraps up the fall season. Wrapping up the fall season isn't necessarily a bad thing at school, because no one has to worry about passing out due to the smell of Cale McCallum's football equipment anymore. So on we go to the winter season. So here's Miss Farnell with junior girls volleyball.
Thanks for passing it over to me, Mr. Swain. Hi Blazers. I'm here to present some awards to the junior girls volleyball team at Bayridge this year. I want to kick things off by saying that in an ideal world, I would have my co-coach right here beside me, Mr. Andrew Hyatt. I want to pause for a moment just to recognize the fact that this man gave up part of his first year of retirement to commit to our team. His first year of retirement, that's a big deal. I'm always super impressed with the coaches at Bayridge and how much time and effort they give, but specifically I think our community coaches need a little extra shout out. I know I speak on behalf of the girls when I say thank you, Mr. Hyatt, for being such a wonderful coach this season and adding some levity to balance out our competitive edge on the team. So thank you. Sometimes our winter season can feel pretty long. It feels like it drags on. We have gaps for the holiday break and exams, and sometimes it feels a bit choppy and lacking momentum. This season with these girls, it felt anything but. It did not feel like this at all. These young women were a true delight to coach. They showed up ready to work hard. They showed grit when playing against teams who maybe had a few more W's than we did. And they genuinely enjoyed spending time with each other and with us as their coaches. We had an opportunity to play in quite a few tournaments, and they would always keep Mr. Hyde and I highly entertained with their antics. They also knew, though, how to get serious and when to get serious and put their game faces on. In our season, the girls had some really clutch wins, and one particularly strong game they played where they took a higher ranking team by storm with some really, really long rallies, and the girls maintained that neck and neck competition. We ended up seeing that team, KCVI, in quarterfinal playoffs, and this is unfortunately where our season drew to a close. The first award I'm going to present is for Most Valuable Player. This athlete is an all-around rock star. She has such class. She represented our team as one of the captains with such poise. We would have unforced errors on the court, and there she was, cool as a cucumber, working to reset her teammates and focus on the ball. Focus on the next ball. She was a dynamite offensive player. She could be counted on for her epic serves, her kills at the net, and her ability to see the court really well as a strategic player. Defensively, she would throw her body at the ball. She was fearless in this chase. She'd pass balls that seemed impassable, and she moved with incredible speed. I think the most important reason, though, why she is our MVP is that she cares so much about her teammates, regardless of whether we're celebrating or commiserating. So the 2019-2020 Junior Girls Volleyball MVP is Jenny Anston. Congrats, Jenny. Our last award for this year is the Junior Girls Top Defensive Player. So this young athlete is incredibly consistent. She's steady and calm on the court and is always working to improve her skill. Her celebrations for amazing defense at the net was often followed by a small gesture, a little yes at the net, which I think speaks to how humble and modest she is. Defensively, she is incredibly strong. She, as a backcourt player, she would pick up deep balls that the opponent had tossed to the corners. We could count on her down the line to make some incredible digs for some kills. At the net, though, she was a brick wall. She got better and better at anticipating where the ball was going to be over the season. We're really excited to see the player that she becomes in senior. This year's junior girls top defensive player is Emily Legg. Congrats, Emily. I'm going to pass the torch over to Miss Liz Dearborn, who is going to talk about senior girls.
Thank you, Ms. Farnell. Hello, everyone. My name is Ms. Dearborn, and I'm here to present the team awards for senior girls volleyball. Our season came to an end about a month before school closures, and I feel very lucky to have had the chance to coach this amazing group of girls from start to finish. One of our team goals throughout the season was to play well consistently, and we achieved that goal most of the time. Unfortunately for us, there were a few exciting yet important 5-set games that did not fall our way, dropping us further down than we'd hoped entering the playoffs. Regardless, we had a lot of fun, a few letdowns, but always came to practicing games with a rock star attitude. This year, Coach Chris and I have decided to recognize 3 athletes on the team for their overall efforts, determination, talent, and improvement. Our top defensive player goes to our defensive specialist, Lexi Pereira, in the libero position. The libero is a person who plays in the backcourt only. They will not receive the glory of the front court with a huge hit or a block, but this person sets the foundation for every rally. It all starts with a pass. Lexi was chosen by a collective group of coaches in CASA as the only libero in the All-Star match. Congratulations to Lexi Pereira, our top defensive player. Next, I'd like to recognize someone for her 4 years of commitment and participation as the senior girls' most improved player. This player began in junior as a middle hitter. When she transitioned to senior, I placed her on the right side and as a backup libero, forcing her to learn 2 new positions. Without complaint, she attended every practice, giving 100% effort and supported her team on and off the court. Fast forward to her final year, and I yet again switched her position to the left side, where she became a fearless cross-court digger and developed a consistent down the line or to the honeypot off-speed hit, tricking many other teams' defensive setup. Grace McKenna is the most improved player for her many years of effort, determination, and selfless play as part of the Bayridge volleyball program. Congratulations, Grace. Lastly, I'll recognize our most valuable player, Sydney Wilkinson. Sid W is every coach's dream. She is positive in practice, calm on the court, and amazingly athletic. She really could play in any position, but she truly shines as a setter. She is smart, quick, and has terrific hands. She was selected as a CASA All-Star and is arguably one of the best setters in the city. I'm so honored to have coached her in a variety of sports for 4 years, and I will miss her terribly. Congratulations, Sydney. Next up is Mr. Stewart and Mr. Allen with junior boys basketball.
Thank you, Ms. Dearborn. While the junior boys basketball team didn't walk away with the number of victories we hoped they might, all the boys should be credited for the toughness and enthusiasm with which they played the game all the way through our 10-game schedule. This year's MVP was our scoring leader, our point guard, and had the single highest point performance of any player on the season, with a 14-point explosive effort against LCBI. As a grade 9 coming into a program that's unfamiliar, one of the most difficult things for a student to do is to take on a leadership role in the point guard position and make an offense work, especially against defenses who are often much bigger and much more experienced than was our offense. It is to his credit that he played with determination and with grit and with toughness throughout these adverse circumstances, and this will only make him better as he faces younger competition as a grade 10 student returning to our program next year. It is with great pleasure that I present this year's junior basketball MVP to Cameron Fraser. Now I'd like to turn over the microphone to Mr. Allen, who will present our outstanding defensive player of the year.
Thank you, Mr. Stewart. Defense wins championships. The nominations for the top defensive basketball player of the year are Kawhi Leonard from the Los Angeles Clippers, Pascal Siakam from the Toronto Raptors, Joel Embiid from the Philadelphia 76ers, and Owen Swain from Bayridge Secondary School. The winner is Owen Swain, the Junior Boys Basketball Defensive Player of the Year. Owen is a hungry defender, creating steals, grabbing rebounds, and communicated well with his teammates about his role on defense. We are expecting big things from this rookie player to our program next year, leading the defensive charge. Congratulations, Owen. I'd like to pass it back to Mr. Stewart for the Senior Boys Basketball Most Valuable Player.
Thank you, Mr. Allen. The 2019-20 Senior Boys Basketball team amassed 5 victories over a very competitive 17-game schedule. The highlight of these was a 52-50 victory over the Napanee Golden Hawks, which vaulted us from 9th place to 7th place and set up a showdown against the Regiopolis Notre Dame Panthers in the first round of the playoffs. Against the Panthers, we played some of our best basketball in the second, third, and fourth quarter, as scoring what would eventually be a AAA OFSA-bound team 32-31. Unfortunately, the hole at the end of the first quarter was just a little too deep, else it may have been us and not the Panthers in the semifinals against the Frontenac Falcons. I want to say goodbye and thank you to our 4 graduating athletes, Owen Delgado, Matthew Fraser, Matthew Huffman, and Carson Knox. You should be proud of your accomplishments on and off the hard court, and I wish you all the best in your next steps along your educational journey. Know that you will always have a home in the Blazer basketball program and a friend in your coach. I hope that you will take the time to think back of the positives and the successes of the last 4 years of your basketball careers. Our MVP was our scoring leader. He averaged 12.1 points per game and had a career-high 22 points against traditional powerhouse LaSalle to open up our season. He had a 8-game streak of scoring at least 10 points in a game and scored 10 points in a game 12 different times. He was a master of difficult shots and often used his shot-making ability to stop the momentum of the other team. He also was our point guard, and it's been a pleasure in seeing him develop in this position in a very difficult-to-learn system over the course of the last 3 years. I think he has all of the ability to play at the post-secondary level, and it will just take that willingness to continue to listen and lead and learn and do all of the things that great basketball players do. It is with great pleasure that I present this year's Senior Boys Basketball MVP to Nick Dales. And now I'd like to pass the microphone on to Mr. Kinsella, who will talk to you about this year's hockey season.
Thanks, Mr. Stewart. You're always a hard act to follow. Good evening, parents, athletes, and coaches. 3 short years ago, this player joined the Bayridge boys hockey team. In those 3 short years, this player has grown not just physically, but emotionally and athletically. This year's MVP has spent countless hours keeping up with his schoolwork and his involvement within the school community. This award is for the most valuable player. However, as a coach who appreciates players who are well-rounded and do more than just come to practices and games, MVP could stand for most valuable person. Not only is our MVP a successful athlete, he is someone who puts in the most effort and as part of a team stands up for his teammates. His loyalty is to them, his family, and his school. He protects them all through good and bad because he knows they would do the same for him. This year's MVP holds a number of records. He holds the team record for most fingers, tying for first place at 10. He holds the record for most pucks stopped in one game at 80 in a 9-2 loss. This athlete was so good, he was not only a starter, but he was the backup as well. He is an Ironman, having never missed a game or practice, and thank goodness for that, or we wouldn't have been able to play. This year's hockey MVP is Reed Delaney. Congratulations, Reed. And now over to Mr. Wolf Brown for girls hockey.
Thank you, Mr. Kinsella. We're changing things up a little bit here. I'm going to present this award, and then Mr. Wolf Brown will present the MVP next. The girls hockey team had their best showing ever this season. We finished tied 4th place with LaSalle. During the season, the girls beat Regi, KCVI, and Sydenham twice, including once in a shootout. And we finished 3-4 in league play. The team lacked in quantity, but certainly not in heart and ability. The players were always counted on to play a lot of minutes, and they did so with big smiles and a willingness to compete to the best of their ability. This team truly demonstrated what it means to be a Bayridge Blazer, always sportsmanlike, always working hard, and always smiling. It was a pleasure to coach this amazing group, and we had a lot of fun. This year, we have to say goodbye to a few grade 12s. Brooke Hagerman played her entire career from grade 9 to grade 12 and was always a very positive person to have on the team. Unfortunately, Brooke suffered a nasty concussion this season, ending her Bayridge career prematurely, and we really missed her on the ice. We will miss her even more next season. Katie Jackson also played every year, and last year she won the award for Most Horrified for taking an accidental penalty in a game, and she set league records for niceness, although I'm not sure how they calculate that. Katie is one of the sweetest people we coaches have ever met, and it won't be the same without her either. However, this year we have decided to award a Bayridge Girls Hockey Career Achievement Award. For every season that this player played at Bayridge, the winner of this award set the bar for everything that we encourage our team to strive for. She played hard every shift of every game. She was highly skilled, she could play any position, but more importantly, she was having more fun than anybody on the ice. Everyone on the bench loved hearing the squeals and laughs that came when she was on the ice, when she lost the puck, or when she overskated something, or when she fell down. You could hear shrieking and screaming in a good way coming from the ice surface. However, her efforts usually paid off, as she was a fantastic playmaker, she was our top scorer, and we could put her anywhere on the ice. She set the tone for the team, on and off the ice, always in a cheerful mood and never complaining. The Bayridge Blazers are going to miss her going forward, but we're confident that her spirit will live on in the younger players that she's inspired. The Bayridge Girls Hockey Career Achievement Award goes to Katie Richardson. And next up, we have Mr. Wolf Brown to present the MVP this year.
In the world of sports, it is often said that defense wins championships. Our team this year was built around that very concept, as we knew our strength lay in our defensive abilities. Special mention must be made of Autumn Mosier, whose tenacity and grit was unmatched on the ice, Emily Swain, who was surely led the league in blocked shots and opponents tossed aside from the Bayridge crease, and Casey Morton, whose incredible skating abilities, blazing shot, and natural instinct for the game made her our top skater, both offensively and defensively. However, the MVP of this team this season was in the net, our goalie, Rachel Wilkinson. Rachel is a standout goalie in this city, and she is most likely the best goalie in CASA. Usually our game plan was to score early and let Rachel go to work, and most of the time, if we got the lead, we knew we were in good shape. She had 4 shutouts this season, and not once did she complain about the heavy load she faced each game. It was very common to meet the opposing coach in the hall after the game and have them ask, "Who is your goalie?" In addition to being a phenomenal goaltender, Rachel was very dependable, attending every single game and even playing as a skater for one game against Napanee with a smile on her face. Rachel is a super kind and generous individual who is happy to share, but she'll refuse to give you access to the back of her net without a major fight. Congratulations to this year's Girls Hockey MVP, Rachel Wilkinson. Come on, Blazer. Woo!
I was wondering when Blazer was going to make an appearance tonight. Blazers put in a lot of work lately with the BSN assembly and all of the events going on. I'm telling you, that suit must smell worse than, you guessed it, Cale McCallum's football equipment. Anyway, that wraps up the winter season, and so now we are going to move on to major awards in a bit, but Bayridge had quite a bit going on last year as well with people who are still involved with the school, and we also have some special highlights of athletes who are moving on to the next level. And to introduce all that, here is the wonderful Miss Nemi.
Our graduating class is filled with talented, bright, determined, and caring student athletes. Many of these great athletes were recognized with a major award last year. Here's a recap of the 2019 athletic banquet. We had an exciting year at BSS, with 3 students being signed to post-secondary athletic programs. Congratulations to Theo Brown, who's going to York University to play football, Owen Kemp, who's playing volleyball at St. Clair in Windsor, and to Connor Hamlin, who was offered a spot with the Concordia Stingers football team. We wish you all the best as you take on athletic pursuits at the next level.
Thank you so much, Ms. Nemi. Now we'll pass it over to Mr. Allen, who will present the Bayridge Athletic Points Awards.
We are now at the point of the Bayridge ESPY Awards to celebrate athletes who have accumulated many athletic points throughout their athletic career at Bayridge. Points are gained through playing an individual and team sport and are tracked through your high school career. We honor athletes that have contributed to participating in multiple sports and teams. While at Bayridge, at the 180-point level, the 260-point level, and the coveted 400-point award. Athletes receiving the 180-point award are Jennifer Amsden, Chad Cousins, Reed Delaney, Ben Fink-Jensen, Sean Graham, Matt Huffman, Owen Kemp, Nick Koss, Brianna MacArthur, Cale McCallum, Mackenzie Myers, Sophia Mufti, Taylor Noble, Jill Parks, Katie Richardson, Cal Reisling, Alex Sarazin, Jacob Smith, Madison Valier, Megan Wiedrick. Congratulations to all of our 180-point award winners. Our 260-point award winners: Audrey Burgraff, Owen Delgado, Abby Duane, Matt Fraser, Katie Jackson, Carson Knox, Jacob Lambert, Kaylin Reynolds, Emily Swain, and Sydney Vanderberg. Congratulations to our 260-point award winners. The coveted 400-point award is rarely given, but this year we have one individual who has accumulated over 400 points during their career through Bayridge. And the winner of the 400-point award is Sydney Wilkinson. Congratulations, Sydney, and to the rest of our 180 and 260-point award winners.
Thank you, Mr. Allen. And now it's the time of the night where we move on to the major award. Thank you, Mr. Allen. Now it's the time of the night where we move on to Bayridge's major award for Now it's time.
How you feeling, champ?
No, I hurt my arm when I was video editing. Like, it's a lot of, back and forth with the mouse. It's straining.
Yeah? Looks like you're starting to lose your stuff.
No, I got enough for one more. I can do this. I'm good. I'm good, Skip. Leave me in.
I got Big Stu warming up in the pen.
Come on, Coach. I got this. We don't need Stewie for this one. Just give me a chance. If you take me out, I'm going to have to mark all my students' work.
I know. The game means a lot to you. This is a big deal. This is your big show. But I think we need to come in with a big closer.
Okay, Skip, whatever you think is best for the team. I tried my best.
It's time for the major awards. First up, Miss Farnell with Grade 9 Athlete of the Year.
I have the privilege of kicking off tonight's major awards, presenting the Male and Female Top Grade 9 Athlete Award. These awards go to an athlete who has been outstanding as a role model for the teams in which they have played. When I was collecting some words from coaches for these two athletes, there was one really defining quality that set these athletes apart. Every single one of their coaches had a comment that sounded like they were mature beyond their years. I think that this says a lot about these two athletes. I'm going to begin with our grade 9 female athlete of the year. This young woman is a force no matter which court she stepped on this year. She had an immediate impression on all her coaches. She accepts any challenge that's tossed at her, and she has a tireless work ethic, and she is a truly fierce competitor. This young athlete is the wonderful Ava Casucci. Ava has an innate ability as an athlete that is unmatched by the others. In her first season as a Bayridge Blazer, she took on the challenge of playing a starting role on the senior girls basketball team. Mr. Stewart commented that Ava picked up on the sophisticated offense with ease and was one of the team's leading scorers as a grade 9 player. A season highlight was when she led the team with 11 points in an important 33-27 win over Ernestown. Her commitment to basketball extends far beyond the walls of the school as well, with her commitment to her club team, where she spends many weekday evenings practicing and is on the road for games and tournaments most weekends of the year. In volleyball, this streak continued. In junior play, she was a powerhouse for us as a powerful left side hitter. She was in our starting 6, and I was just astounded by her ability to adjust and learn so quickly, constantly reacting to her teammates and showing incredible discipline. And don't think that this kid was always serious. She has this wonderful goofy side that entertained her coaches and her fellow players. She oozes sportsmanship, truly, and her teammates, and she has such a respect for her teammates, her opponents, her coaches, and the game. And that is truly unmatched, I think, in any other grade 9 athlete. As a badminton player, Miss Nimi was disappointed that she didn't get a chance to compete in CASA. CASA play, as her dedication to the club and her attendance at all team practices was second to none. In phys ed, Ava is always a true team player, understanding when and how to include others, and also knowing when to finish it herself. Who knows what athletic endeavors this spring would have held for this young athlete. I think her resume speaks for itself, but more than that, Ava is a truly well-rounded, disciplined, and motivated young woman. She is going to have a wonderful athletic career as a Blazer, I have no doubt. So congratulations to Ava Casucci, our 2019-2020 grade 9 top female athlete. Our grade 9 male athlete of the year is also so great. Although I have not had the pleasure of coaching him myself, his coaches all said that he is an incredibly coachable athlete. Mr. Stewart commented that he understands the relationship between what he puts into practice and what he should expect to get out of games in a way that most grade 9s do not. He has a tireless work ethic and is never happy with good enough. This young athlete is the awesome Owen Swain. Owen jumped at every opportunity to get involved in athletics as a freshman here at Bayridge. He played everything and anything. Are you ready for this list? He played volleyball, basketball, badminton, ultimate frisbee, and I'm sure he would have been involved in track and field and baseball this spring. As an athlete in the community, he's also played rep hockey and rep baseball for the past 6 years. He played rock volleyball this year for the first time in the community. He takes golf lessons, and I'm sure he's going to get a lot of rounds of golf in this summer. Like Ava, I'm actually not entirely sure how he has the time for all these activities. He's got this ability to find the balance between athletics and academics, and he does that so beautifully. Owen is deserving of this award because he embodies all the things that we want a Bayridge athlete to be. He is polite, he listens intently to the feedback of his coaches and thanks them after every practice. He's motivated. He sees each shift on the court or field as both a challenge and an opportunity. When you watch this kid play, it's really clear that it doesn't matter if his team is down because he's always busy rallying his teammates, putting his all into every play, and always trying to be just a little bit better. He's confident. He was able to step in and play with many of the senior athletes this year, both in his golf season, where he was the only grade 9 athlete to make to earn a spot in a foursome, and again in ultimate frisbee, where he was competing with and against mostly senior athletes. He is versatile. He's a player who his coaches could count on to bring skill and discipline and a cool head to the table, no matter whether he has a ball, a club, a frisbee, or a stick in his hands. Kid, you're a star. Just like Ava, we are sad that you didn't get to show off your stuff in Casa Badminton and our spring season of athletics here at Bayridge. Your athletic future looks bright, Owen. Congratulations, Owen Swain. You're our 2019-2020 grade 9 top male athlete.
Thank you, Ms. Farnell. I'm very honored to be presenting the top junior athlete for both male and female this year. This year there was quite a strong group of junior female athletes, and making a choice was very tough. However, the top female junior athlete of the 2020 season is being awarded to Rachel Wilkinson. Rachel is a gifted athlete who stars on numerous stages. This year she played field hockey, volleyball, and badminton, all before COVID. And she likely would have played soccer and done track as well. Oh, she was also on athletic council. Given all of this activity, I wanted to make sure that her coaches had a voice as well. So, Mrs. Swain on the field hockey pitch says, Rachel never stopped. Her energy and determination were amazing, and she would do whatever needed to stop the opponent or to make sure that her job was done to the best of her ability. She rarely came off the field. In volleyball, Ms. Farnell says Rachel is super committed and she would race from hockey games to volleyball practices. There was always an ongoing joke with Cynthia Mackey that they smelled like hockey. She always wanted to get better and her attitude kept things light and upbeat. I was lucky enough to coach Rachel in ice hockey, where she is an absolute star. Rachel is arguably the best goalie in all of CASA, and if Bayridge gets a lead, it's pretty tough for other teams to break through, as proven by Rachel's multiple shutouts this year. Despite being outshot in most of our games, Rachel backstopped our team to the best record that we've ever had, and all of our games were competitive ones. As a coach, having Rachel in net was a very secure feeling. Outside of school, Rachel plays for the Kingston Ice Wolves Midget AA team, where she travels across Ontario competing against the top players in the province. Being a part of this team involves serious commitment and time, and Rachel is able to manage that along with her school and academics, which is quite an accomplishment. However, take all the athletic accomplishments away, and you still have an amazing young woman. Rachel is very smart and kind, and she's always smiling. Her positivity is contagious. She's yet another Blazer athlete who is not just about talent and skill, but also about character and sportsmanship. Congratulations, Rachel, the Bayridge Secondary School 2020 Female Junior Athlete of the Year. The top male junior athlete goes to a young man who in stature does not seem like a junior. This award is going to a star on the basketball and volleyball courts, Ozzie Allen. For anyone who doesn't know Ozzie, he looks very intimidating. He's extremely tall and strong, and if he weren't wearing a uniform, most spectators would likely think he was a coach. However, Ozzie is the definition of a gentle giant. Although highly competitive on the court and driven to succeed, he is fun-loving off the court, and he has a huge heart. One of my favorite memories of Ozzie this year was when I was in the gym hallway, and he was past the bear pit, and he called me all the way over, and when I got there, he just said, "Hi," and ran away. And he would call everything straight fire. I'm still trying to figure out what that was all about, but that was just Ozzie's way. While I coached Ozzie in volleyball, basketball is Ozzie's top sport. In the words of Mr. Stewart and Mr. Allen, Ozzie is an intelligent basketball player with a very well-rounded inside and outside game. He consistently does the little things like setting screens, boxing out, running the floor hard, etc. that result in opportunities for the team to succeed. He is so popular with his older teammates that they, not he, begged me to make him part of the senior team from the first day of school. He was our third leading scorer as a grade 10. In volleyball, Ozzie was a monster in the front court. His powerful kills and blocks quite often got fans up on their feet, wondering why there was a man on the high school court pounding balls at defenseless young kids. His natural talent allowed him to do this, but what I was most impressed with as a coach was that Ozzie continued to listen and learn, and his improvement on the court was noticeable both in terms of physical play and leadership. At the start of the year, if he would get blocked or miss a kill, you could sometimes see him get down on himself. However, he worked on staying positive and keeping his head up, and by the end of the year, there was a big difference in his mental game and his demeanor, and I believe that rubbed off on the entire team. This year, the winner of the top junior male athlete may not look like a junior, but we're happy that he still has 2 years of high school left. Congratulations to the big man on campus, Ozzie Allen. And now, over to Mr. Stewart to present the PHE Award.
Thank you, Mr. Swain. The PHE Award recognizes a male and female student who've made outstanding service contributions to athletics during the school year. It is my pleasure to present this year's PHE Awards to Jada Packer and Matthew Fraser. Jada has been a member of the Bayridge basketball and soccer programs during her 4 years as a Blazer. On the basketball court, her quick feet and nose for the ball created a challenge for any defender brave enough to try and stop her. This season, Jada was the team's second leading scorer and had impressive double-digit scoring performances against Napanee and Coburg Collegiate. As a student in phys ed class, Miss Nimi said that Jada always plays her heart out and is a phenomenal athlete. She has an incredible attitude and encourages others and gets them involved in every aspect of the game. She never gives up, even when her team is the underdog. She always came to class with a smile and a positive attitude. Congratulations, Jada. Matthew's been a member of the Bayridge football, basketball, and track and field teams during his 4 years as a Blazer. Mr. Allen identified that as a football player, Matt sets his sights on playing at a high level. Working year-round in the weight room, developing strength and size, made him a valuable asset on the field. His receiving ability is outstanding. Put the ball in the air, and he'll find a way to go and get it. He became a deep vertical threat for teams that they had to respect. Matt was the player you wanted to go to in challenging situations. As a basketball player, Matt had a solid season at both ends of the floor. He embraced the role of defensive stopper while working on keeping the opponent's defense honest with a well-rounded offensive game. In track and field, Matt often performed in the top half of the field, where his best race was the 400 meters. In his grade 9 and 10 years, he secured back-to-back CASA championship medals. Matt was a regular in the 400 meter field at IASA and made several trips to East Regionals. I'd now like to pass on the mic to Mrs. Swain, who will speak on behalf of our hardest working athletes.
Thank you. This year's hardest working female athlete has been an enthusiastic member of our ice hockey team since her grade 9 year. However, it was September of her grade 11 year when she stepped outside of her comfort zone and tried out for our field hockey team. At the time, we had just found out that our goalie had moved and we were without a keeper for our net. To my surprise, this young woman enthusiastically volunteered to suit up in the goalie gear, and the rest is history. Over the next 2 seasons, she would prove to be a key factor in our team's success. She led us to 2 semi-final finishes during her time with the team, and she played in 2 CASA All-Star games. In her rookie year, she was named CASA MVP for the Senior All-Star game. Inspired by her new role on the team, this athlete was determined to improve her game. She signed up to play with the Queen's Mini League in the winter in 2018 and landed herself a spot on the Kingston Royals Field Hockey U18 travel team that spring. Once again, she shone in net and was named MVP for her Royals team that season. Her spring and winter coaches, Rochelle and Melanie, both loved working with this player. Mel was thrilled when she found out that this player was going to be recognized tonight, and she wrote me the following note. As you know, she is a dedicated player. She shows up to every practice and games with positive attitude and her smile on her face. Even in the heat of summer, with all of her goalie gear on, she gives it her all. I feel so lucky as a coach to have had Brooke as my goalie. I wish nothing but the best in all of her future endeavors. Well, I feel pretty lucky to have had Brooke as my goalie as well. Congratulations, Brooke Hagerman. You took a risk, you worked incredibly hard to improve your game so that you could be the best that you could be for your team, and you've left a lasting impact on our Bayridge field hockey program. And now I'm going to pass it over to Mr. Allen, who is going to present the hardest working male athlete award.
Thank you very much, Ms. Swain. Our hardest working athlete has earned the 260 Point Award, showing his well-rounded commitment to Bayridge athletics. He participates in basketball, volleyball, football, badminton, soccer, and is a member of the Athletic Council. He displays sportsmanship on and off the field and always respectful of his teammates and opponents. When asking coaches for comments about this player, they use terms such as tenacious, high level of compete, no limits, coachable. I'm proud to announce the 2020 hardest working athlete to Owen Delgado. One story that best shows his willingness to work hard was in grade 10, when Owen was given an opportunity to play senior basketball. Though a daunting task, he saw it as a challenge and thrived in that environment. His persistence on defense was a sign of great things to come over the next seasons. Through his hard work, we can now rely on many great things offensively, as he has tripled his points per game, becoming a shooting threat. We can only hope that Owen will return to Bayridge and continue to compete for the blue and orange. Congratulations, Owen. Next up is Ms. Dearborn for the Sportsmanship Awards.
Thank you, Mr. Allen. The next major award is for sportsmanship. This is awarded to a senior male and female athlete who consistently represent the ideals of Bayridge athletics before, during, and after games. This year's female recipient is Katie Jackson. I met Katie in her grade 9 year on the soccer field. Katie is small but mighty, incredibly fit and hardworking. She is an amazing asset to any soccer team. Nevertheless, her contribution to the team as a whole does not end there. Katie participated in every practice and game with determination and grit, all the while remaining positive and respectful, not only with her teammates, but also with her opponents. Mr. Swain's remarks include, Katie played on the girls' ice hockey team for 4 years. She was always positive no matter what was going on. She was on the ice a lot, and even though through her exhaustion, she always gave it all she had. There were games where we needed her to play defense, and even though she was less comfortable in that position, she always did it without complaint and with 100% effort. Her confidence and her aggression on the ice has improved dramatically from grade 10 through grade 12. In field hockey, Ms. Swain had the following to say. Katie has been a starter on the field hockey team for 4 years. She is aggressive on the field and does not let anything get in her way. She works incredibly hard, both in practices and in games, and has been key in controlling our offense over the past 4 years. However, it will be her character that she will be remembered for. Compassion and fairness are the utmost importance to her. She was unwilling to accept a win unless she knew in her heart that we had earned it. Her teammates turned to Katie when they needed support, and she worked hard to keep the glue of our team intact. Congratulations again to Katie Jackson, this year's recipient of the Sportsmanship Award. Now on to Mr. Swain for the next award presentation.
Hello Blazers. It's a great honor to be here today to present my brother, Matt Huffman, with the Sportsmanship Award. My brother Matt is a great person.
Whoa. Cam, what are you doing?
I'm just presenting my brother with the Sportsmanship Award.
Well, I think I know your brother a little better than you do.
I've literally known him my whole life.
Yeah, but I've taught him computer science 2 years in a row. But listen, you develop a pretty good bond in computer science class. I think we're good here. I appreciate it, but you can take off.
Okay. Did I win any awards?
Good God, no.
Well, sorry about that, folks. The surprise is kind of ruined now, thanks to Cam, but the winner of the most sportsmanlike male athlete is Matt Huffman. It's tough to explain how deserving of this award Matt is. Matt is simply one of the sincerest, hardest working, nicest people that you'd ever want to meet. He's a guy who never looks for any special recognition or accolades. He just exudes character naturally. It's part of who he is. Matt has played basketball, volleyball, and baseball in his career at Bayridge, and he's been a class act the entire time. On the basketball court, he was coached by Mr. Stewart and Mr. Allen. Here's what they had to say. As a player, Matt is known for a legacy of tremendous long-range shooting. One game that stands out was against Bayridge Secondary School last year, where Matt hit 6 3-pointers en route to a career-high 21 points. He is one of the nicest, most coachable students I've had the pleasure of working with over the past 20 years as a basketball coach. No practice or game concluded without Matthew shaking my hand and saying thank you. In the classroom, the experience is similar. Matt is always genuinely grateful to his teachers, and he's a leader by example. In addition, he, along with Aaron Rudart, Andy O'Neill, and Ethan Silver, were responsible for their recent driveway graduations, an initiative that's garnering significant local attention, as it should, for being simply amazing. As he is so humble, Matt is likely not enjoying this speech about him, but he deserves this recognition. He has spent 4 years at Bayridge unknowingly being a role model for everyone around him, on the court, on the field, in the classroom, and everywhere else. He is a testament to all that a Blazer should be, and we are definitely going to miss Huffy Sports. My thanks to the other incredible Huffman Cam for his help with the intro, and congratulations to Matt Huffman, the winner of the Most Sportsmanlike Male Athlete. And now to present the Top Athlete Award, here's Mr. Jeff Stewart.
Thank you again, Mr. Swain. It is my pleasure now to present our top senior athletes. The top senior athlete is awarded to a male and female athlete who during the school year has demonstrated superior accomplishments in athletics. I can speak to both of this year's top athletes, having had the opportunity and pleasure to coach both of them from fall through spring. This year's top senior athletes are Kaylin Reynolds and Owen Kemp. Kaylin has participated in volleyball and track and field during her 4 years at Bayridge. However, it's on the basketball court that Kaylin has made her biggest mark. A 3-time CASA All-Star, 500-point scorer, block shot specialist, and 3-point shooter extraordinaire, Kaylin completed her career in the blue and orange with an outstanding season that included a stretch of 8 games where she played the best basketball of her career. During this time, she averaged 11.5 points per game and encouraged her team, compete, family to 5 critical wins in the stretch. Kaylin will definitely be missed as she makes the transition to from Bayridge to the post-secondary world. Congratulations, Kaylin. I'm proud of you. Owen has been a major part of the Bayridge volleyball program during his 4 years as a Blazer. During the fall, his ability to bring a fun, lighthearted, yet productive mindset to practice was something that Mr. Dwayne and the rest of the team truly appreciated. Owen took on a different role during the winter season, acting as an assistant coach and support staff to the girls volleyball program. The next Clare College, where Owen hopes to help the Saints improve on their 8-10 record of a season to go. I'd be remiss if I didn't speak to Owen's baseball career. With a long, smooth swing reminiscent of Cody Bellinger's, Owen was a steady contributor to the blue and orange and leaves our program as one of the team's best defensive performers. Congratulations, Owen. I'm proud of you too. Now back to Mr. Swain.
It is my honor to present the award for athletics and academics to Grace McKenna, and I have no idea where to start with this speech. I am so proud of each and every student athlete at Bayridge, but there is only one of whom I have a picture like this. This is Grace coming over to see her new friend Emily about 16 and a half years ago. Over that time, I've watched Grace go from smearing nail polish all over the white carpet in my house to writing both the AP Computer Science and Mathematics exams. I remember when I let her fall down the stairs and hit her head on our kitchen floor at age 2, but I also remember seeing her go to OFSA and pole vault multiple times. I've seen her fall multiple times, but man, have I ever enjoyed watching her get back up stronger every single time. Athletically, Grace has the natural gifts of her parents. She's a tremendous basketball player. She won the Most Improved Player for volleyball this year, and she has become one of the best pole vaulters in all of Eastern Ontario for her age group. She also played on the Ultimate Team and was the president of the Athletic Council. Not too bad. However, I've seen her play ice hockey, and it's not good.
Academically, Grace is incredibly smart, and if there were such a thing as Most Improved Award for academics, I'd vote for her. She's always been highly intelligent, that's not why. But what I've seen in Grace is amazing growth and self-confidence. The first time she touched a computer in my grade 11 data management class, grade 12 data management class, Grace clearly thought that it was going to either catch fire or self-destruct if she hit the wrong button. However, 2 years later, and after a lot of fighting with me and herself and the machine and a lot of going, why? She graduates with a 98 in grade 12 computer programming. Grace is someone who, like her mother, will never quit, hates to lose, and if she says she's going to do something, it's going to get done come hell or high water. And during her time at Bayridge, she's developed the same quiet confidence of her father, as she now knows she can take on any challenge, athletically, academically, and whatever else. Proud is not the word for this one. The only word I can think of as I watch Grace move on to the next level is happy. I'm happy for her, I'm happy for Bayridge, I'm happy as her teacher and her friend, and I'm so happy that I got to see her grow into the incredible person that she is today. Grace, I look forward to being there with you as you move mountains and continue to grow as a person. Congratulations, Grace McKenna, extremely deserving winner of the 2020 Athletics and Academics Award.
Thank you, Mr. Swain. The Athletics and Academic Award suits this athlete to a T. He is an all-around superb athlete and strives for top marks academically. This year, he earned the 180-point award, participating in sports over his high school career of basketball, volleyball, football, badminton, soccer, ultimate frisbee, and is a member of the Athletic Council. I am pleased to present the Athletics and Academics Award to Cal Risling. Cal excels in the classroom, earning level 4 in all of his classes. On the court or field, Cal's hard work propels him to the top of any team that he plays with, a leader by example. Cal is a pleasure to teach and coach, always respectful to his peers, opponents, teachers, and coaches. Dominant performances as a halfback in football, stopping at nothing to make a tackle, a goalie in soccer, putting his body on the line to make saves, and a two-way player in ultimate frisbee. Cal carts home numerous MVP both in football and ultimate frisbee this year, and other sports through other parts of his high school career. The talent that this young man possesses knows no bounds and will certainly be playing any varsity sport he chooses in the future. Congratulations, Cal. On to Mrs. Swain.
Thank you, Coach Allen. Well, tonight I have the privilege of recognizing our two top graduating athletes, two Blazers who mean the world to me. I have had the pleasure of teaching our top male graduating athlete, Jacob Lambert, several times over the past 4 years, and I've witnessed firsthand the maturity, focus, and determination that he possesses that has allowed him to excel in academics. These are the same characteristics with which he has flourished as an athlete during his time at Bayridge. His coaches all describe him as a quiet, hard worker who has a ton of talent, yet is hungry to improve. As a basketball player, he is tenacious on defense and took pride in stopping his check. Coach Stewart describes him as a tireless worker on the court with an abundance of character. As a soccer player, he made things happen on the field. Even though he was an excellent striker, he often played center midfield to control the play. Mr. Allen describes Jacob as a selfless athlete, a team player wanting success to be team first, never looking for personal accolades, and valuing feedback. Jacob is perhaps best known for his prowess on the badminton court. He started in grade 9 as a singles player and evolved into a dynamite team player when he paired up with Din in his grade 11 season. Over the years, very few athletes have been able to compete with the badminton power couple, Coach Allen and Ms. Nemi, but Jacob, Ms. Nemi's flesh and blood, and Din have reached the point where they push them to their limits and even come up on top every now and then. Last year, the boys took the CASA Doubles Championship, and this year they began training for their season back in the fall. Unfortunately, COVID interrupted the pursuit to reach the next level. Our top graduating female athlete, Sydney Wilkinson, earned 400-point athletic award this year, a true testament to her athletics during her time at Bayridge. Over the years, she has competed in field hockey, volleyball, soccer, track and field, ultimate frisbee, badminton. I'm sure I'm missing something. Sydney was captain of the junior soccer team, playing a key role position in midfield. Her senior soccer coach, Ms. Brown, describes Sydney as a true rock star in the field who demonstrated respect for her teammates and opponents, optimism in the face of loss, courage in her strength to push herself to do her best, and kindness towards others. A CASA All-Star for both of her years in the senior volleyball team, Sydney was also captain of the team this year. Coach Dearborn was always impressed with how smart Sydney played the game, which allowed her to be an extremely successful setter and even elevate her teammates. Sydney was the MVP for the ultimate frisbee team. Coach Pixley describes her as a positive, hard-working athlete who made the younger players on the varsity team feel welcome. She set the standard for effort and was full on the entire time, playing more minutes than anyone else on the team. Finally, Sydney was CASA Field Hockey All-Star on the team that I had the honor of coaching her on for the past 4 years. She shared her position of center half, controlling each match with her athleticism and her mind for the game, and leading her team with her character and her contagious smile. She is the type of athlete who would thank me after every practice and high-five me after games. Just one of the reasons why she was nominated to win the Major Sportsmanship Award when she was only in grade 10. From the first game she ever played, where I ended up carrying her off the field with an injury that would put her in a cast for the rest of the season, to our final high-five last October, Sydney has been the heart of our team, and it breaks my heart to see her leave this year, although I know that she is destined for great things. Both Sydney and Jacob are true Blazers who embrace what it means to be a student athlete at our school. Their coaches all agree that these two individuals are incredibly gracious athletes who are humble, grounded, and thankful for every opportunity that has come their way. Congratulations to Sydney and Jacob, two incredible young people who are so deserving of the top graduating athlete award. And now I'm going to pass it off to Mr. Swain for some final remarks.
Thank you very much, Ms. Swain, and that wraps up our major awards. Before the evening comes to a close, I'd like to introduce Ms. Slate and Mr. Ward for some closing remarks.
Ready, Mr. Ward? I'm not hooking you, I'm just checking distance.
Let's hook you. Mrs. Slate and I are proud to now bring closing remarks to signal the end of our ceremony and the conclusion of a unique and memorable year of athletics at Bayridge Secondary School.
To the graduating athletes, remember that playing sports is a part of who you are and has taught you invaluable skills that you will carry forward and will contribute to your future successes. You are an amazing group of athletes who have the ability to persevere, to be resilient, and to rally around each other when faced with adversity. I hope you continue to play for the love of the game and cherish the memories you had while being a Blazer.
And to our returning athletes, we look forward to a new season next year where we can hopefully be on-site connected through the love of sports. Sports are one activity that truly bring us together, create a sense of team, and foster feelings of accomplishment when achieving and perfecting our skills.
We need to thank Mr. Swain for the production of this ceremony and all your coaches for making this virtual assembly possible. We have a great group of staff at Bayridge who are so proud of you and your achievements.
Finally, we want to thank Mr. Allen as your athletic director and all of your coaches for their many efforts and tireless hours to ensure students at BSS have the opportunities to do what you love, play sports.
Congratulations, Blazers!
Thank you, Mr. Ward and Ms. Slate. Well, that brings the night to a close, Blazers. It's been very different recording clips in our living rooms and trying to put them all together. We hope that you've had fun with it all and enjoyed the evening. As we move forward, we desperately hope that sports return in the 2021 school year, but I guess we will have to wait and see. So everybody have a good night, stay safe, enjoy your summer, stay active, and for God's sakes, Cale McCallum, wash your football equipment. Good night, Blazers.
floating away. The astronaut finds its way on through the night. Jukebox music, dry, I couldn't sell it, fried real
And although this is a crappy way for us to end such a meaningful journey, it should never define the past. And we hope that you will always be proud to call yourself a Blazer.
We're gonna get you the help you need, Aaron. It's gonna be okay.